All planets other than Earth are named after Greek and Roman gods and goddesses. Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus, and Mercury got their names thousands of years ago. After the telescope was invented, the tradition of naming planets after Greek and Roman gods and goddesses continued for other planets discovered. In this video, planet names in our solar system and where do they come from? We will answer the question. Mercury. Mercury is the smallest and innermost of the planets in the solar system. Here's a question for you: where did Mercury get its name? Like other planets, Mercury is named after one of the Roman gods, based on the gods believed by the ancient Greeks. The Roman god Mercury was the son of Maia, Maestas, and Jupiter in Roman mythology. In Greek mythology, he is known as Hermes, the son of Zeus. According to mythology, since Mercury was the fastest of the gods, he was given the name Hermes, which means messenger of the gods in Greek mythology. Because Mercury is visible to the naked eye, every culture throughout history has given it its own names. The ancient Babylonians considered it worthy of the name Napu, while the ancient Greeks thought that Mercury was actually two planets. When they saw him in the morning sky, they called him Apollo, and when he was seen after sunset, they called him Hermes. However, in the 4th century BC, ancient astronomers realized that these two celestial bodies were one, and they decided on Hermes. Venus. Venus is one of the 5 planets visible to the naked eye. This means that astronomers recognize Venus and observe its movements. Venus is the second planet away from the Sun. It is the brightest object in the sky after the Moon and Sun, and appears 10 times brighter than the brightest star Sirius. Clouds surrounding Venus' atmosphere reflect the Sun's light like a giant mirror. So where did Venus get its name? Venus is named after the Roman goddess of love and Aphrodite in Greek mythology. In ancient times, Venus was known to the Babylonians as Ishtar, the goddess of love and beauty, so Venus has long been the first planet that comes to mind when talking about love. At the same time, the symbol of Venus, the only planet with a female name, also represents femininity, a circle with a cross at the bottom. The ancient Egyptians and Greeks thought that Venus was 2 separate celestial bodies, and called it the morning star and the evening star, until people looking at the sky during the Hellenistic period realized that it was a single celestial body. World. We know that each language has its own names for our planet. However, these names all have something in common. Each is derived from the words earth or, in some, creation and universe. Earth, which appears as Terra in Roman mythology, is known as Gaia, the father of Saturn in Greek mythology. Mars. Mars, or in other words, that famous planet we dream of going to. In the future, humans may be born as Martians. But first, let's see where Mars got its name. Mars is the god of war in Roman mythology. In the past, people associated it with blood and war because of the red color of Mars. Of course, the Romans were not the only people to associate the planet Mars with bloodshed. Known as Ares, the son of Zeus and Hera in Greek mythology, Mars is known for its bloody wars. The Babylonians named them Nergal after their god of war and destruction. Also, the symbol of Mars represents man. It is a circle with an arrow pointing out from its right corner. Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest and fastest rotating planet in the solar system. How did Jupiter get its name, where days last only 10 hours? Jupiter takes its name from the most powerful god in Roman mythology. It was named after its most important god, as it was the largest visible celestial body in the night sky at the time of the Roman Empire. Jupiter, the king of all other gods, is known as Zeus in Greek mythology. People looking at Jupiter have given it many names and titles, but the most influential today stems from Roman mythology. Jupiter was hailed as the god of the sky and proclaimed the chief god. In later periods, people thought that the god had an effect on the results of the war, and preparations were made to give Jupiter a new title, the god of war. It was also a name on Jupiter where vows were made and sacred offerings were made. It was a symbol of the central authority of the Roman Empire. Saturn. Saturn is that famous planet whose rings make Mars jealous and Mercury and Venus backbite between them. So where does Saturn's name come from, and are you wondering what it means? Saturn is named after the Roman god of agriculture and harvest. In Greek mythology, he is known as Kronos. Also, Saturn is the father of Jupiter, that is, Zeus. It is also known as the representative of evil forces. He ate all his children the moment they were born, so as not to covet his kingdom. Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, was born from the sperm spilled on the edge of a lake, who stuck a sickle into the phallus of her father, Uranus. Planet names and meanings, ancient or modern, are always filled with such extraordinary stories. Now let's move on to a different planet, the meaning and story of its name. Uranus. Let's remember the discovery of Uranus. Although this planet has been observed many times by astronomers in the past, the real understanding of the matter was born only with modern astronomy. With the discovery of William Herschel in the 18th century, he would name the planet officially and add another one by updating the list of known solar system planets. So where did the name Uranus come from, and what does it mean? Herschel initially thought of the name of the planet specifically as Georgium Sidus, or the Georgian planet. Although this was a popular name in England, it did not attract the attention of the international astronomy community. Not wanting to break tradition, they considered naming planets after Greek and Roman gods of historical significance. Accordingly, Bode's research eventually suggested the name Uranus. Uranus was the father of Zeus, Kronos, and the king of the Titans in Greek mythology. The name seemed perfectly appropriate, as it was discovered beyond the orbits of Jupiter and Saturn. Neptune. Neptune is the farthest planet from Earth. So where did the name of this blue planet Neptune come from, and what does it mean? Neptune was named the outer planet of Uranus, or Leverrier's planet, soon after its discovery. The first suggestion for a name was made by Johann Galle, who suggested the name Janus. Later, Oceanus made another offer. The discoverer of the planet, Urbain Le Verrier, claimed the right as "I discovered it, only I can name it," and suggested the name Neptune. Neptune was the god of the sea in Roman mythology. The demand for a mythological tradition of naming seemed appropriate to naming other planets in Greek and Roman mythology, and Neptune became the internationally accepted name.